name is Heather Giamboi. This is another VARDANKAR video. I'm going to talk about the VARDANVIDYA, the ancient science of prophecy, and the soul records. Often psychics have, since ancient times, inspired and enthralled individuals with their abilities to foresee the future or peer into the past of previous lives for insights. This audio will help us delve deeper into the sea of self-discovery. If you approach this with open-mindedness, you have an incredible opportunity to learn from this audio how to reach self-realization. And when you do, you'll be able to read your own past lives and see your future by learning a more highly advanced form of out-of-body travel to heaven.
How cool is that, guys? That is going to be my next guest in a couple minutes here. We're going to be hearing from Heather Giamboi, and what she's doing is so interesting. I was reading this, and I'm just totally psyched. Now, Heather Giamboi and Alan Feldman are accomplished soul travelers, and they've been doing this for several decades, and they're authors and spiritual teachers, and they speak and they teach out-of-body travel and how to become a spiritual teacher. And this is such a really cool topic here. It's definitely different. We don't get this all the time here, but I'm going to be right back, and we're going to hear from Heather in a minute. But you guys know what I got to do. I have to play a station ID, and I'll be right back with Heather Giamboi. So stay tuned right here, guys. My name is K.C. Armstrong, and I am the CEO and I am the voice of WMAP Radio, which stands for the world's most amazing people. When I see your face. All right, guys, back here at WMAP, the world's most amazing people. And as I was telling you, and I played a little clip there from Heather Giamboi, the spiritual teacher. She's an author, and this is a topic that I'm just really excited about. Now, Heather started this when she was a bit younger and always had a lot of questions. She was one of those people that always challenged and always asked questions, and she found at the age of around 17 that she remembered feeling really old and tired and wanting to really find what the highest level people are capable of. I mean, like the meaning of life and important things like that. And she thought there was something missing. She wanted to find out what it was. So there enters this soul traveling. And I can't wait to learn about it. So guys, with no further ado, it's my honor and my privilege to welcome to the program Miss Heather Giamboi. Heather, how are you today?
Hello. Hi, K.C. It's great to be here, and I'm happy to be with all your listeners.
Great. Thanks for taking the time here. Now, this is definitely an interesting topic. I don't know if you heard any of my intro with you, but I am pretty interested. I'm sure the listeners are sharing the excitement that I have too. But you're going to be talking to a bunch of beginners here, so I hope not to bore you, but I want to just get the basics for my audience because I'm not sure that we're very familiar with it. So if you wouldn't mind, maybe you can just start out by telling us what a soul traveler is.
Basically, soul traveler, it's sort of like there is the physical body, and a lot of people, when we're born, will identify very strongly with the physical body or the flesh. And not everybody is aware of their true self, soul, which is a spark of God. And what happens is when we learn to leave the false self and dwell as soul, I'm not talking about the astral body that is often confused for soul, they call it the light body, but the true self, soul. When we dwell as the true self, soul, and learn to leave our body, we can make contact with this light and sound of heaven. And by learning out-of-body travel, we're sort of learning how to make that connection where we can directly experience divine spirit which is the voice of God. And we can experience what many saints who have started different religions have experienced for eons. A lot of saints secretly practiced these kinds of methods because their love for God and their love for truth was so strong that it drew them to that like a magnet.
So interesting. Now, how close to meditation would you say that this is? Is there some similarities between the two?
Well, meditation and prayer are ways that a lot of people use to connect with spirit or connect with the spiritual reality. The difference is, one of the things about meditation is that we are sort of expecting experiences and God to come to us. But God is so high in vibration and consciousness that it will not pull itself down to this lower level, to this dense vibration. Instead, we have to learn to come to it. And this is done by learning to leave the physical body. With meditation, it's actually a little too passive. In out-of-body travel, it's more active because we're choosing goals, we're choosing a destination. For example, if I'm struggling with some problem or challenge in my life, or I have this enthusiasm and I really want to understand the answer, I can go in this state of out-of-body travel and pick a destination and choose what it is I desire to accomplish. So it's a lot more active rather than passive. And also with prayer, a lot of times prayer is petitioning God for certain things. Instead, we're sort of developing an even more active relationship where we're learning to listen to God and listen to Divine Spirit and this spiritual element of our true self soul, so that we can make contact with that light and sound ourselves. And it's very joyful and uplifting.
Yeah. Now, Heather, is this something that takes a long time to learn? Can anyone do this? Take me through the process.
Sure. Well, yes, I feel that anyone can learn this. It's sort of like just about anyone can learn different types of sciences and arts. If somebody wanted to be a violinist, they would basically begin by practicing.
Right.
And it's good to practice with a very talented violinist to learn. Initially, when they first take up the violin, it doesn't make the sweetest melodies. It might make some sounds that are unpleasant.
Very true, right.
But with patience and practice, a person can learn it. Because actually, I know this might be a shock to some people, actually most people are already doing out-of-body travel. But the thing is, they might not be conscious that they're doing out-of-body travel.
Is that something maybe with dreaming or something?
Yeah. Sometimes when people are having dreams, they are having experiences in sort of inner worlds. Also, another way could be, for example, if you're a child and you're in school and you place your attention, you're daydreaming about the beach and thinking about the beach, or a person comes into your mind, like let's say you're in your kitchen and someone comes into your mind and you're thinking of them, and then all of a sudden the phone rings, and who is it on the phone? It's the very person you're thinking of.
Right.
It's sort of like a part of you is actually with them by placing your attention there. But in out-of-body travel, that state is deepened, and in other words, it's an expansion of your awareness. So you become more aware of what you're already doing.
So when you go on, when you do the soul traveling, for lack of a better term, do you know where you're going, or does it take you somewhere where the force, the vibration, the universe, whatever it may be, decides to take you, or are you in control of where you're going?
Well, the way I like to see it is it's sort of like your true self soul takes the steering wheel and the little, sort of like the little human self might not understand or comprehend which way it's steering, and sometimes it will gain awareness, but Yeah, I would say that it's sort of like you're learning to, it's like consciously learning to work with divine spirit so that we become more aware of that soul self. And yes, sometimes it goes in a direction that surprises you.
I gotcha. If you guys just tuned in, I'm speaking with Heather Giamboi. And for more information, you can go to membership at VARDANKAR.com. And you can get some more information about this soul traveling. Now, do you take on clients? Is that how it works? Do people contact you through the site? And do you have classes? Tell me how this works.
Sure. Actually, I mean, this is kind of a poor analogy. I don't like using this analogy so much. But in Star Wars, when there is a master teacher working with an apprentice student, or in the medieval era where you have a master painter, somebody who is an expert at painting would take on apprentices, and they would learn from somebody who was, how can you put it, somebody who is highly adept at that particular art. So we have somebody, my husband is the head teacher, and he's extremely adept at out-of-body travel. He was trained very intensely for over 30 years in this highly advanced form of out-of-body travel, and it's sort of like, you could say, like an apprenticeship program where people study at home. If people have questions, they can email us through that website, and there's also people will enroll and they'll receive study discourses that have actual exercises and techniques to practice, and also it teaches basic understandings and concepts of how to it's like a flower that unfolds its petals. It's a process of expanding. So yeah, we have an at-home study program, and it's like an apprenticeship, you could say, because he works with the student on inner levels and outer levels. Gotcha.
Now, tell the audience again how they get involved in this and where they should go and what they should do.
Well, they wanted to get involved in this. They can go again to the website, VARDANKAR.com, VARDANKAR.com. It's basically a study program where for a 12-month period or 12-month intervals, they study a process of learning how to do this, just like someone who wanted to learn violin would work with an expert violinist, like a virtuoso, and then they would get understanding. It doesn't take that long. It's about a spiritual exercise to learn out-of-body travel. It takes about a half an hour a day, and studying is about 15 minutes or more per day. And it's a simple process, but I've watched students practice this, and some of them have really exciting experiences.
They must. Wow. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. Now, Heather Giamboi, we're running over here, but I'd love to have you back. This is such a really cool topic for me to learn about and for the audience to learn about. So I really appreciate you coming on. And when someone brings something new to the table and kind of thinks outside the box or is into something passionately that is new and maybe criticized or shunned because you're not gardening, you're doing something different, I applaud that, and that's what makes you one of the world's most amazing people. So thank you so much for what you're doing and coming on and sharing with us.
Thank you. It was wonderful being here and talking with you.
Definitely. I hope to get you back. So thanks again. That's Heather Giamboi, everybody. Go to VARDANKAR.com. Thanks again, Heather.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, guys. That was Heather Giamboi. Interesting stuff, huh? I never heard about any of that before. So maybe we'll get her back and we can all do it together. I don't know if you should be doing it when you're driving, but we'll attempt it. Not when we're driving, but you know. Hey guys, I'm K.C. Armstrong. This is WMAP.